If you have said to yourself, I should write that, or if someone has said to you, you should write that, then I'm talking to you because you need to write. And that's why you're tuned in to yWrite. Hi, welcome to yWrite. I'm your host, Angela Grout, interviewing authors about what they're writing, why they're writing, how they're writing, and to let you find out what you need to be reading, and more importantly, if you're looking to tell a story, how you can tell your story. So welcome to yWrite. I'm in studio today with a phenomenal guest. His name is Bruce Oliver, and buckle in because I have a lot to tell you about him. He's from Connecticut, and we're here in Massachusetts, so it's not too far, which is great if you come into studio. Bruce has written over 39 books, and his writing style has been compared to Agatha Christie, and a lot of his historical novels have been set in the 1950s and 60s right in Connecticut. So, if you're looking to read a historical fiction, it's kind of cool to be able to read something that's set right in Enfield or Suffield or, right down the street where you live. He writes under a pen name, E.S. Christie, which we're going to find out why. But let me tell you, his credentials, his successes, his allocates, his experiences, his education, his licenses, all of his notable works are incredibly diverse. So I'm holding this paper because I got to share this with you. Listen, besides being an author, he's an entrepreneur, a travel advisor. He's been on over 100 cruises. He's traveled 127,000 countries. That's exaggerating a little. He's an IT expert. He's an avid sports lover and actually owns a soccer team in Ireland. He recently just got back from London where he served on the board for the United Kingdom Athletics. He works closely with UMass hockey and their athletic teams. This guy is just so well diverse. It's unbelievable. He received the Nelson Marquis Lifetime Achievement Award, which you can see why. He's done a lot. You go to school, you get all this education, he becomes an Eagle Scout, was a teacher for over 30 years in the Enfield school system, teaching biology and astronomy, and he's here in studio today wearing his awards, and we're going to talk not only about his books and a lot of things that he's been doing, but he is the owner of Vegas New Wave Media. Vegas New Wave Media? Yeah, it's 8 television channels. And if you're from Enfield, Connecticut, you've probably seen his channels because he has one that's literally on Roku called Enfield. And look I'm going to page 2, 3, 4, 5.
Please.
You can hear him. He has hosted several travel-related television shows, podcasts, including the Cruises with the Bruce radio program and the Bruce Oliver television show. This guy is multimedia, multitasking, and multi-fantastic. He owns Axis Mundi Systems, which is a huge umbrella that everything he does is underneath. And with all this experience, he's got 2 books that I want to talk about. One is called From Grassroots to Greatness, because he is really great, and the grassroots are right here next door to us in Enfield, Connecticut. And then he's written a book called One Pots and Life Hacks. And this is a fascinating book about all of his experience, and he's got a lot of wisdom in this book, and he's got a lot of really great recipes. So, he's here to talk about how he shared his wisdom, but, I think we're almost done with the program after I've introduced him, so I hope we have time to bring him on. I'm kidding. I'm bringing him on. This is Bruce Oliver.
Good
Bruce.
morning.
Good morning.
It's great to be here.
It is so great. You and I have had some great conversations on the phone. I'm looking up all your different websites.
I've enjoyed it.
I'm just you have your first book here that you've ever wrote.
Right.
And it's Sensational Trends. It's a cookbook similar to this kind of most recent book.
Cook travel. Doing.
Yep. Talking about travel experiences and cooking. And the cool thing, he's got scratch and sniff. We can go in and we can look at some recipes and we can smell it. And, as a writer, I know how difficult it is to incorporate pictures. And you did this book over 20 years ago. So the fact that you have QR codes shows how advanced you are.
Yeah,
because 20 years ago, people weren't putting QR codes in their book. So, here you have that. You have, look at all these books on the desk. We don't even have all 39. He's got a whole series of travel because you've done, how many countries have you been to?
59.
Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. And, it's like the specialties in each book that you talk about, each country, or each place that you've been to.
It's a blend of travel. So it's read and then you plan.
Yep.
So it's a planning book.
Yeah.
And then it's travel. So there's a note section. And then there's cook.
Yeah.
So the recipes in that location.
Yeah. I mean, it's so
That's
funny. You're
what I
talking
wanted
about
to
like the
cover
restaurant you went to, the food you ate there.
Absolutely.
Different things, on how to experience that country kind of the way you experienced it.
Absolutely.
You write, let's see, I'm going to go to this one because you have the secrets of cooking too, which is spices and herbs. And I glanced through this and it's really neat because you have, a lot of little pictures of the different spices and herbs that people can use. And all of them are like quick resource reads.
Yes. I use this and I tell people this is a resource book.
Yeah.
So all the spices, and there's actually tables where you can use the spice, what foods, and what ethnic dishes.
That's amazing.
And then at the end, I've got some of my favorite family recipes. So I wanted recipes too.
Yeah, I mean, you're really educating people on what we are what we absorb, whether it's through reading, through looking, through smelling, and through eating. And you get it all in your book.
And it's not bland because people want food that tastes good.
Yeah.
So this helps them. A lot of people that get the book and see the book, they say, I've not used that spice before. This is really interesting.
Yeah, because when I glanced through it, I was like, wow, this is really cool because I was like, I don't really use a lot of rue or saffron. And it's like, to be able to see what it looks like and find out where I could use it and what it's good for. I mean, that's super useful. I do hospice companion care for dementia and Alzheimer's patients. So of course, I saw this book and I mean, again, it's like you write in a very condensed way. It's not, you have a series of like 8 or 9 books, I think, that are all educational because, so it's like when you've written them, it's like, it's not a huge textbook.
For homeschoolers, because I was concerned about, first of all, history and teaching the students reading, writing, arithmetic, solving problems, because that's what education is. Yeah. I've been an educator all my life. I went to school for forestry, but I also had an educational background, so I taught actually Suffield Voag.
Yep, Suffield Voag, Enfield, and the college level too.
And also at the college level, when I got older, I was asked to teach as a visiting professor at the University of Hartford. So I spent time there and taught office automation because I was involved with Travelers for several years, and I was involved with their program to bring new software in and solve problems. So the dean said to me, will you teach for us?
Yeah, I mean, you have such... anyone who has a plethora of information and wisdom and knowledge, like, this is why I encourage them to write a story. Write a book because you got to share it. You can't take this with you. And, that's what you've done from your travels to your education. And, then, of course, we'll get into the murder mysteries, which is how I ended up kind of finding out about you.
That's how we started, yes.
Yeah, because, I wrote a murder mystery, and someone else was saying, oh, you should meet Bruce Oliver. He writes under E.W. Christie, and he does murder mysteries that are set in, Suffield and Enfield. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So how did you get into doing these murder mysteries?
I'm concerned about the loss of history.
Yeah.
And, years ago when my parents and I sat down, we listened to our grandparents, and they told stories, and they said, so you sat down and you listened to them talk, and that's kind of disappeared over the years, and knowledge of history of the area, because I went to school in Suffield, and I'm from Enfield. I said, I'd like to put together a novel or novelette that blends it's real location. So I did research to make sure that it's accurate for the time. Mm-hmm. And then I took people that I knew, kind of morphed them a little bit.
Made a little character.
Made a character out of them. And there are several characters that stream through the books. I've got 2 more that are on the shelf that I still have to finish. but they're all. And I said, I made this really complicated for myself. I've
Totally
got
do that.
same character in 4 books, and I got to, it's a different period in time, and I've got to have some context.
Yeah, and the character has to age with the time.
And the character has to age. And if there's events that happen in the character's life,
Yeah.
I had to keep that in mind in the next book.
Yeah.
So I really made it difficult for myself. But the circumstance is based on reality. Mm-hmm. Maybe not exactly
Well, I mean,
where it
here you
was,
have, the Thompsonville carpet mill. I mean,
because not a lot of people understand. They know that there's apartments there, but they don't
What it was
understand
before.
what it was before.
Yeah.
It was one of the biggest mills for carpets in the country.
in America, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Bigelow Sanford. And it started in Enfield with that family. That
Yeah, I mean, if I lived there in an apartment now, I think it'd be very cool to have the history of it, because you have the history, even though the mystery that
mystery
is the
is-
fictional part.
That's right. It's a little bit sketchy, not real.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that are in it are, if I've got an accountant, it's based on a real account that actually I had back years ago.
Wait, his name wasn't
I didn't.
Phil, was it? That's
no,
my
I
dad.
didn't. I used a different name, but they would have an idea that it's the same person.
Yeah.
And then the inspector and the detective and some of the characters are based on real characters.
Well, and I think, like, for me as a reader, I like to read through books very quickly. So, like,
It's a quick read.
It's a quick read.
Yes, it is.
I mean, and that's what's great. And I'm impressed because as a writer writing a mystery, I mean, sometimes can take 200-300 pages,
Yes.
and it's like, okay, you got this down.
I wanted to
and-
make sure it was succinct and something
Yeah.
that could be read in a couple hours.
Yeah, and so I mean, I'm very impressed. Why the E.W. Chris? How'd you get your pen name? Because some people do toy with this. You have, you write in your real name, but these you chose a pen name.
Well, I used a pen name because some people would say, well, he's talking too much about my parent, my grandparent, my uncle, my aunt, my brother, my
Protection.
sister. So it's a little bit for protection. Although I don't talk, I use, they know, if it's a character.
Right. Well, it's one of these. If the character seems like someone in reality, it's a coincidence.
Then they sue.
You just have to. It's
So
coincidence.
it's to save. It's to save all that heartache. And I also say it in the beginning. It may be based on real characters,
Yeah.
but it's fictional.
Yeah.
So, E.W., my mom was a nurse,
Okay.
and it's Elizabeth Welchek.
Oh, I love that. It's
So
a nice
E.W.,
nod to mom.
but it's a man that
Yeah.
is the character.
Well, and I did my murder mystery. I did A.M. Grout because I heard that people like to read murder mysteries by men. So if it said Angela Grout, people might not read it. And the mystery of that, people assume it's a man.
So, Christie, I love
Agatha Christie.
I just love her style. I was on the Queen Mary back, maybe 16 years ago. And somebody I interviewed on my radio podcast for travel, I had him on show from not California, but from Canada.
Wow.
And I heard the man talking, and I says, Doc, is that you? He said, Bruce, is that you? We're on the library section, 16th deck of the Queen Mary,
And you
in the book section.
And you run into each other.
And we run into each other. And I was looking at her book. The book about her.
Yeah.
There's an entire book written about her style, what she does, what she did. She just is constant.
So you're now related.
Oh, yeah.
Your distant
Yeah.
relation
So-
to her.
E.W. is a tribute
So you
to
have,
my mom.
and a lot of, all of your different genres kind of have series. Like, you're not like a one and done.
No.
You have, how many Christie books are published?
There's 2 published and 2 more
Two more
out.
coming.
Yeah.
The books for education, for homeschooling. You have more than half a
About
dozen.
6.
Yeah.
And I had 12 on. That's very intense and grueling to write.
Oh, I can
that.
imagine. Yeah.
Because I want it to be accurate. I want the students to be able to look at the book and read it. I gave it to one of the coaches for his son up at UMass, and he says, "My son loves your books." He's gone through the lessons. Well, there's lessons, there's crossword, and it's all based on what's in the text.
Yeah. And it's fun to learn
It's
that
got to
way.
be fun.
Because people go, you take classes and you're sitting there and you're listening to lectures or you're looking at, examples on pages and you're getting handouts and you're doing homework assignments. But I mean, people tend to learn more when they're playing.
True.
If you're doing a crossword puzzle or, reading a story that incorporates what you're learning.
True.
So
And all my book, because I'm a techie, I was in the business for years. I worked for Microsoft for several years. I say, we're in a tech world, but we've got books.
yeah.
So I tie with QR codes and addresses to my television series or my television channels and to my YouTube channels where I put more information. And then I go to the Library of Congress, and if they want to learn about Benjamin Franklin or Nikola Tesla, they can go and look at the patents at
So you have the
Tesla,
QR code that takes you there.
and they can go there. Now, because it's a book, or maybe they're going to read it online, I've got the link also.
When do you sleep?
Lately,
Do you?
not.
I feel like you have more hours in your day than most people.
I've always, when I got back from Ireland, Northern Ireland, because I'm co-owner of that, the Carrickfergus football club.
Football, as in soccer.
Soccer. And that's how this.
Look, I'm bringing the soccer right up.
That's how that book came out.
Yeah, the grassroots to greatness.
Because I'm doing a podcast on that, and I went over and said, somebody said, well, I look at soccer agency because so many people. You got to become a soccer agent. So there's a young man, wonderful young fellow, 18, and I said, Anthony, you got to take this class. So we're taking the class together online with Sports Management Worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
It's been in business for 30 years, and I started. Part of the class is interview people.
And you've interviewed a lot of people.
So far, I mean, they're coming out. I've got another interview this afternoon. I did one yesterday. I did one Friday, and I just started.
So now you're on the other side of the table getting interviewed.
I'm on the other side of the table. So I said, all right. Somebody said, you should do that and put together a podcast. So I put together From Grassroots to Greatness, the Journey to the Top for soccer.
Yeah.
Well, a sport, if you've got a mindset, it's the same for every sport.
Oh, it's same for life. I mean,
it's same.
When a book speaks to people, sometimes the title speaks to you. I'm not into soccer, but it's like the grassroots to greatness. I mean, that's like what everyone kind of strives for, and the journey to the top. I mean,
right.
because not that everyone wants to get to the top of the field, they want to get to the top where they're feeling good about what they're doing.
Feeling good is what is most important. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, I've always told people, if you do not enjoy what you're doing, stop.
Yep, love what you do. You'll never work a day in your life.
Love what you're doing, because if you're going to work as a young adult or as an adult, and you dread getting up every single day.
Yeah.
There are other things, and believe me, until you get in that situation where maybe your first time is you're being laid off.
Yeah, when you're
and you have to.
Forced into
And you
something.
find out, wait a minute, there are other things.
Yeah.
My life's not over.
Yeah.
Everything's a sine wave. And in my One Pots book, I write about life and having highs and lows. And you hope that the highs are not so high
That you plummet.
that you plummet when you go down. You want them to be closer together and maybe stretched out.
Yep.
Because people commit suicide because they think their life is over.
Yeah.
And I've got personal experience with that. And you say, God, why?
Yeah.
Why did that happen? Was there something I could have done? Maybe not. Probably
Well,
not.
for the people left behind, yes, we have that guilt of we could have done something. I mean, I say to people, and I've even said it to myself, not that I've been suicidal, but when you're in those lows, what a difference a minute make, an hour makes, a day makes.
And
because what you're feeling right now it's not going to last. Nothing lasts forever.
Nothing lasts forever.
No stage you're in is going to last forever. But I know when you're in it, like when you're a new mom and that baby's crying for 2 hours, you're like, oh my God, it's never going to end. But it doesn't
Twos
last.
come.
Yeah, the twos come. Exactly.
Then you got another situation.
Then the 14s and the 17s.
Oh, yes.
And so it's like no stage lasts forever. So it's
True.
like just breathe through that moment. And because what a difference 10 minutes going to make, or an hour, or a day, and your perspective changes on things.
And to me personally, my faith, I
Yeah.
believe in Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. I've been saved from cancer 5 years now to do something else.
Yeah.
And there are people. My oncologist said to me, Bruce, you came into my office, and I told you have 3 months to live. You have the most advanced stage of fourth stage non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. We can't do radiation. We're going to have to do a stringent, very regimented chemotherapy for 6 months, 7 hours a day. Not for all 6 months, but every few days.
Well,
And he said, you came in and you were so calm. I said, well, I've almost died 5 times in my life. I believe there's somewhere better to go.
there is. We'll be when we're ready, they'll take us.
And if you've got faith, then you've got hope.
Yeah.
With faith and hope, you have love and life. So if I say one thing to people, young people that I work with and come in contact with at UMass or UConn or wherever, I say, you're looking at things from your perspective. You're 20 years.
Yeah.
And they say, you've done so much. Listen, I'm 74, not 100. I'm 74, and I've always done something.
Yeah.
Don't just sit and watch TV.
Yeah.
Don't just sit and play games on your...
Go out, learn something, do something, experience something, share something.
Life is exciting.
Yeah.
And share
Cook something.
Cook something. I love to eat.
This. So you brought your crock pot.
I did.
And when I'm writing books, I always say I have a couple pots simmering on the stove. They're simmering. I add a little more ingredients to each one, and then when the right time to serve is.
Sure.
But when you brought the crock pot to the table, and of course I'm looking at your book one pots, it's like we are that pot. Like we are what we put in there. And so, like, within each of these pages is who you are sharing with someone else. So you're really sharing a meal in every book, whether it's educational
Absolutely.
or how to travel or, how to entertain someone with, teaching them history at the same time, because you always have a couple things going on in the books. It's not just like a straightforward memoir. And this one really, this is like your first book, a memoir, because you are sharing,
Yes, I'm sharing a lot.
70 something years of wisdom. I mean, yeah, a 20-year-old can't write this. They haven't had that
I've
life
actually had
experience.
students come over. Can I hug you? And I said, sure, you can hug me. And they said, I read your book twice, and I want to read it again.
I know.
And I said, I'm so happy that I'm helping.
You are.
I'm helping somebody, and that's my legacy, is to help somebody. And then somebody else said, my mom died last year, and your book was so helpful to me. And I share a lot of personal stuff in this book. It'll be in BookCon 2026 in 2 weeks. Well, it's probably out. I'm already back.
Yeah. Oh.
From Jacob
Yeah,
Javits in New York.
Yeah, when the show comes out.
So the weekend of April 18th and 19th, I'm going to be a featured author in one of the booths over there.
because again, I mean, you're sharing recipes. So number one, you're just teaching someone how to cook good food.
Yeah.
But I'm going to turn to page 58, and I know we're already getting emotional.
Yeah.
But it's like you have, 1 Corinthians in here. What is love? Love is patient. Love is kind. So it's like, yeah, it's a cookbook, but I mean, you're giving someone space to just
What's a life hack?
calm. You have, the QR code to go to a James Taylor song. Like, I mean, there's just so much in here. And then
Shower the people you love, love, and love.
Yes. And then, you have, quotes from Apache Scouts, from George Washington. So, I mean, it's light reading in a way, but it's really
Well, that's the reason why this student said, I got to go back the 3rd time.
yeah. Well, and then
I'm afraid I'm going to miss something.
and then you're sharing a story about how you lost your younger brother. You know what I mean? So it's like it gets so personal. So
Yeah.
we get to know you, and as we're reading the story, I mean, I hate to say we've all suffered some kind of loss. So we
Everybody.
have that empathy not only for you, but we're also having our own empathy for ourselves, because
Absolutely.
it's like, you know what? Yeah, he went through something life-changing and sad and grief, and I've done that, but Bruce moved, Bruce is doing something. So you're so motivational.
Everybody has problems. Mm-hmm. And if they tell you, I don't have problems, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
Because years ago, somebody said to me, you're a pauper, you have problems. They're different than somebody who has $1 billion. Mm-hmm. People that have $1 billion have bigger problems, but God has prepared them to deal with the problems they've got. So you're always at a point where God will give you the ability to deal.
I always say, okay, thanks for letting me handle so much. Thanks for trusting me, but you can take a little off the shoulder.
Right, exactly.
It's like, wow, he really believes in me.
We may not be happy about it, but it's short. It's going to be over.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. It's going to be over.
And our life will be over in a blink of an eye. But what we put back into the world to make it a better place to, create not only for selfish purposes of a legacy, you know what I mean? Like people are like, oh, no, it's about helping others and, informing others and becoming part of with others. I mean, because that's what we are. We can never be the same when we meet somebody. So yeah, I mean, you have all these really great books. I mean, Grassroots to Greatness. That's you. Grassroots to Greatness. You are great, and your grassroots are right here. I mean, we didn't even get to really talk about Maya's Marvelous. You have a whole more book series with this.
Series, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like so cool because this one has like holograph. It's a little more holograph characters.
It's based on holograph. Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you're just so advanced. Like you're always ahead of your time.
I'm trying to think about what children would be intrigued in.
Yeah. I mean, and it's definitely, having the holograph, having them have their own little mystery. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, very, very cool. All of your books are really cool.
Thank you.
I mean, I went pages and pages with your credentials. I don't even know if I got to all my questions because I have so many.
That's all right.
You do have television stations. You have the Roku stations where you put your shows on, but you have, what other shows do you show on those channels?
I love Sherlock Holmes. Mm-hmm. So I did a Sherlock Holmes world.
Yeah.
And I said, well, Enfield, I'm doing an Enfield channel. I got a channel on Real Madrid because I love soccer. And I couldn't find it anywhere.
So when people go to the Roku channel, that's what they're watching.
Roku, it's called Real Madrid Soccer. Mm. I'm going to be doing a channel for Carrick Rangers Football Club in Northern Ireland.
Which is your team that you are...
Is the team that I've helped sponsor. And I've got a mystery channel. I've got a flyovers, which I love.
Wait, maybe you need a yWrite channel. We might need an Angela Grout yWrite channel all day.
Right,
We'll see. We'll talk. Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting, that you're so diverse, but you're so focused in each one. You give it 100%.
The thing is if you're going through life, take your assets. Because everybody has assets. It's just a matter of finding them.
Yeah.
And then build on them. And always go with something you love to do. Mm. Because if you don't, then it's a job and you don't like doing it. So I burn 20 hours a day sometimes. But other than being tired, I'm exhilarated.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. I mean, you are... calming and exciting, and there's just so much I could talk to you for hours, and we have on the phone, and I think we're going to again.
I'm glad I'm helping.
So 39 books and counting. Can you tell the audience where they can find your books?
You can find them on Amazon. So go to amazon.com, author/Bruce Oliver. I also have a site, shop.bruceoliver.com, and you go directly to my direct sales. And that's probably everything.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the best, and I hope we can have you on again to talk about your next book.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of yWrite. And, Bruce has inspired me. I keep saying I'm going to write the life of the florist, and I've tried writing my memoirs as a florist. But, as he shared doing his recipes and all of his short stories that are all incorporated in there, there's a really great way I'm thinking I can do this, because I could talk about creating an arrangement and then what was going on during my life at that time and kind of incorporate it. So today I'm going to give you a writing prompt like I always do. So set your timer for 10 minutes when the show's over. And you know what? I want you to, talk about maybe a dinner you made one night. Start talking about like how you're adding whatever ingredients into that pot. But talk about, write about what's going on in your environment at that time. Maybe the kids just came home from school. They're sitting at the table asking you questions about their homework. Maybe you have something contemplating in your head because you're thinking about a new job. But at the same time, you're multitasking and you're creating a recipe. So write your recipe, write your story of what was going on when you were making that recipe. And you might have a memoir coming out. So thanks for tuning into this episode of yWrite. My name's Angela Grout. Don't forget to subscribe on all the streaming networks. And we'll see you next time. Bye.